There's a lot of slang associated with the testicles and the scrotum. You've probably even said some of these phrases in the past week. It's that common. Grow some balls. That was ballsy. You've got some balls. Get back to me when your balls finally drop. He's got big balls, or blue balls, or it's sweating balls. There are so many slang terms and phrases associated with the testicles that a young kid is most likely going to hear it, and it's probably not going to make sense to them. So they're going to wonder, what does it mean to drop balls or grow some balls? I'm Kathleen, and I make videos for parents on how to have the modern day sex talks. So let's dive into this video around how to have the balls talk with your child, and then later on in the video, I'm going to clarify the myths from the facts around ball size. If you're subscribed to my channel, thank you, you know that I don't usually use slang terms for the genitals. It's very important for children to know the medically accurate terms for the genitals. It offers credibility, it avoids confusion, it can provide the language necessary to prevent CSA, and it lays a solid foundation for the sex talks. If you're on the fence about using medically accurate terms, check out this video where I break down these reasons why I recommend it. Now, eventually, there comes a point, somewhere usually in the middle school age, where kids will start to hear the slang terms for the body parts. It's inevitable, and it's okay. Because you've been using medically accurate terms, it will make it easy to define the slang terms. Balls are a slang term for the testicles, and ball sack is a slang term for the scrotum. You can even share other slang terms that you've heard, or ask them what slang terms have they heard. Remember, parents, the sex talks are ongoing and evolving, and especially during the middle and high school age ranges, having sex talks that are more informal and that use slang can be appropriate depending on the previous sex talks that you've had. But if you've never used medically accurate terms for the genitals before, definitely introduce those terms and try to use them more often during the talks. When it comes to explaining some of these phrases around balls, they will tend to be either a compliment towards a person or an insult. If a young kid is hearing these comments like grow some balls, or they've got no balls, or their balls probably haven't dropped yet, it could make them feel self-conscious about their own testicles. They may do an online search trying to find out the average size of testicles, or how do you make your testicles grow, or when do testicles drop. Explaining the social nuance around these types of comments to a middle schooler can truly help them to understand that there's nothing physically wrong or of concern with their body, but it's just a common way that people use language to express themselves. Remember, it's during this time that most kids will start to go through puberty, and they will most likely start to feel self-conscious about their body. It's very common for them to wonder, am I normal? Is this normal? If everyone's talking about growing balls, why aren't my balls growing? This may sound ridiculous to you as an adult who is aware of this type of slang, but to a kid, this may be a serious cause for concern if they've never had the balls talk. Now, using someone's balls as a way to insult them is not only unkind, but in Italy, it's also a crime, and you can be fined for saying to someone that they have no balls. More about this later on in the video. Now, if you're finding this video to be helpful, you know what you can do if you want to. When you go to have this talk, first let them know that it is normal and common for people to wonder about their own body, and that you want to make sure that they have accurate information. Use medically accurate terms or slang depending on how you've had previous sex talks, and approach the conversation speaking in generalities. Don't say your testicles or you might notice, just keep it general. And don't feel like you have to say all of this in one big talk. You can break it up into smaller conversations so that they hear the information often, and it gives them time to ponder it and then ask you questions. You can say something to the effect of, many people wonder about the changes happening in their body during puberty, and it's really common for adolescents to have questions about their body and specifically their genitals. One common concern is about testicle size. Just like with every other part of one's body, the testicles will also generally grow in size during puberty. One testicle will usually be slightly smaller than the other, and they'll generally hang so that they don't just constantly bump into one another. If the testes are ever swollen or enlarged, that can be a serious health issue, so it's important to be aware of changes in testicle size. The testes are in the scrotum and hang outside of the body because the body temperature is actually too hot for sperm to be produced. So the scrotum has a really important job of temperature regulation of the testes so that the testes can continually make sperm. When a baby is born, the testes are usually inside their body and then will descend into the scrotum at some point during the first year of life. Because of this, some people will say that a man is immature or not masculine enough by using the insult, "their balls haven't dropped." This refers to that first year of life when a baby's testicles takes time to descend from the body into the scrotum. It's just unkind to say this, and it perpetuates an outdated stereotype that someone's masculinity is based on their testicles, which is simply just untrue. And it's really important to check the testes for cancer, as it's more common for testicular cancer to occur during the late teens and 20s. The bigger the testicles are, the more sperm there is. It's technically a fact. There can be more sperm production, but that doesn't necessarily equate to more semen being ejaculated. There simply might be a higher sperm count in the ejaculatory fluid. In Italy, if you say that a man has no balls, you can be fined. It's true. An Italian court said, it refers not only to the target's lack of virility, but also to his weakness of character, lack of determination, competence, and coherence. Virtues that, rightly or wrongly, are still identified as pertaining to the male gender. But of course, a man's confidence or competence isn't equivalent to whether or not he has testicles. Anyways, we're not going to get into the nuance of masculinity at this time. The lower the balls hang, the bigger the balls. Well, the scrotum is designed to regulate the temperature of the testicles in order to continuously create the perfect environment for optimal sperm production. So if the scrotum is hanging further away from the body, it probably means that the person is hot or sweaty, and the testicles need to be a little bit cooler in order to keep making sperm. But if the scrotum is really close to the body, it probably means that they're cold and the testicles need to be a little bit warmer in order to keep making sperm. So it's not necessarily a size thing. The bigger the balls, the more they need to ejaculate. This is a myth. Sperm production does not equate to the need to ejaculate. If a person is producing sperm, the sperm mature in an area called the epididymis. Once the sperm are fully mature, they will either leave the body through ejaculation or get broken down and reabsorbed into the body. Well, that's it for the balls talk. I'm Kathleen, and I'll be back with more videos on how to have the modern day sex talks. In the meantime, check out my latest short or watch this video or leave a comment.